This is Ryzen 7 5800 XT. I saw it on sale for $140 brand new at Micro Center and I decided to buy. 5800 XT, many people don't know about this model, but it's a sorta kinda upgraded 5800X. It does not have integrated graphics and its max power is 105 watt. It's 2025 and AMD still makes 5000 series CPUs. Most powerful for gaming would probably be 5800X3D, but it's too expensive. I'll be doing a very mild upgrade, upgrading from 5700G to 5800 XT. It should be maybe 20% boost in performance. The G version has integrated graphics and only 65 watt power, so I may not notice the difference, but $140, I had to buy it. And later on I'm going to upgrade my 6700 XT to RTX 5070. This one is probably the best video card I can fit in my computer because it has to be 11 inches or smaller. And everything that's more powerful is like 12 inches and up. 12 inches is too big. Comes with a black box. Here we get the CPU itself in a smaller box, and here we have the cooler. I'm going to put this cooler as well. The cooler comes with thermal paste. Look. Thermal paste. I would say it's a little bit dry, but it should be fine. This plastic seems to be cheap. We'll also get this quartz. This is box with CPU. Let's take a look. Instructions. And this is a CPU. Most important thing, not to bend any pins over here. Do not bend pins. That's very important. When you install anything in your computer, first you need to unplug the power. And then press and hold power button for, some people say 10 seconds, some people say a minute. This draws all the power out of the computer. 5700G came with this small tiny cooler. We're gonna take it out. I actually got the cooler first and radiator is still here. Need to unscrew this first and then you can just loosen with fingers. Best not to do everything on one side, just little by little here and there to get it completely loose. Boom. Okay, very, very careful. Wow, looks cheap. And this is the CPU. Look how bad it is. No thermal paste on the side, only in the center. So bad. And we can do like this. Such bad cooling by Oman. And this is 5700G. Once again, most important part, not to bend the pin. They made it so bad. Look at this thermal paste and circle in the middle and dust on the sides. This is horrible. HP Oman. Nice cooling. Actually, I'm not gonna lose much money on this upgrade. This 5700G with this cooler I'm gonna sell for almost the same money. The upgrade cost is gonna be like $20–30 in the end. Now we're going to put this one instead. Look, even connectors are a little bit shinier. This is more like brass. This is kind of gold color. We have here a small arrow but it doesn't look like we have one here. But I remember that it goes this way. Very important part is to put it correct way. If you put it in correct way, you're gonna break everything. And everything gonna break and not work at all. So I put it correct way, it just got in smoothly and nicely. And then we can put this one on. The bad news is that I do not have any brackets, and it didn't come with some kind of brackets, so this thing's supposed to hold it. Well, I'll have to just install this cheap cooler back, I guess, for now, for a little bit. Getting back to the cooler, so this is stock cooler that came with HP Omen. This is complete trash and garbage, doesn't even cover the whole CPU, very small and very weak. Even the free one that came with the CPU is way better than that, okay? With this cooler, once again, that does not cover the whole CPU, the sides are not covered by the radiator. That's the way they designed it. HP also designed in the motherboard to use Intel kind of, you know, square one, because AM4 is this size, right? So I don't think it even will fit there, but if you get, I saw a review of another guy, he got something square, right, like this shape. So stock cooler will not fit there, you see, because it's these things, RAM is over here all cramped in, SSD is there, right? So I saw a review of a guy, and what he had to do, he had to use some Noctua cooler with Intel parts. They use Intel parts and like size and everything. Then he had to unscrew the whole motherboard because they put the back bracket backwards, and they glued it also, so you damage your motherboard if you want to take it off. So he like slowly with a screwdriver unglued it and was able to install a good cooler. But I'm pretty sure there is a high chance of damaging the motherboard, so I can't waste more time on that. And that's probably the reason why it had 57G with that is 65 watt, and this one is 105. And I'm probably not gonna get a good lifespan with this cooler. I'm not sure. I think if I do heavy gaming every day, it'll be bad, but I don't really, so it should be fine. But just keep in mind, if you upgrade your CPU, keep in mind that a lot of stock motherboards and builds by major companies, they're trash, especially like those with smaller motherboards. They try to cramp in and everything, and you know, always best to assemble your own computer, not to be lazy and actually assemble your own computer with quality parts. Also something I want to show you. So this is Starfield. I put ultra settings. Okay, this is Starfield on ultra settings, 1440p. The thing about CPU, look, it's like 35% load. 37, it's probably gonna get to 40. GPU is fully loaded, it's 6700 XT. So basically, if you have a mediocre computer, even below that, you really need a high-end video card that costs maybe like 10 times or 8 times more than CPU to really load the CPU. Once again, 37%, 99%. I have 48 gig of RAM, 180 degrees. I think I have to switch back to 57G. HP Omen is horrible.